So as you really release the back body into whatever's beneath you, start to notice the quality of your breath. Maybe the inhales are shorter than the exhales, or vice versa. Without forcing the breath, can you begin to even out your inhales and exhales, finding a little more balance with the breath? We're going to start with some Samvriti pranayama, which is equal part breathing. You'll take 4 counts to inhale and 4 counts to exhale, all in and out through the nose. So start by breathing in as deeply as you can. And let all the breath go. Slowly breathing in for 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhaling 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhaling 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhaling 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhaling 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhaling 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhaling 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhaling 4, 3, 2, 1. Coming back to your natural breath, trying to maintain that evenness between the inhales and the exhales. So I've been thinking a lot recently about sort of this in-between state that we're kind of in at the moment. And I want to share a little bit of writing by Pema Chodron with you today. And she writes, "We are told about the pain of chasing after pleasure and the futility of running from pain. We also hear about the joy of awakening, of realizing our interconnectedness, of trusting the openness of our hearts and minds. But we aren't told all that much about the state of being in between, no longer able to get out of our old comfort from the outside, but not yet dwelling in a continual sense of equanimity and warmth. By not knowing, not hoping to know, and not acting like we know what's happening, we begin to access our inner strength." So I invite you to see if you can allow yourself to be in that in-between state of not knowing, of not chasing after the moments that are pleasurable, of not checking out in the moments that are challenging. Really staying in that in-between of maybe not quite knowing what's coming next or how it will feel or what thought will come up. And allowing yourself to get comfortable, if you can, in that place of not knowing, in that in-between. Taking another really deep breath in here. As you exhale, really soften through the shoulders and the face. Taking another deep, deep breath in. As you exhale, really release into the props underneath you. Allow yourself to be held and supported. And taking one more slow, deep breath in. And let all the breath go. Beginning to blink the eyes open. Bringing the soles of your feet onto the mat, right in the same line as your sit bones. And then press the palms right down by your sides. Tuck your chin into your chest. Come all the way up to sit. And then clear your mat of any props that you have on the mat, coming onto your hands and knees, stacking the shoulders right over the wrists, hips directly over the knees, spreading the fingers nice and wide. Beginning to move through some cat and cow as you inhale, tuck the toes under, lift the gaze, tip the tailbone up. Exhaling for cat, untuck the toes, rounding chin to chest, navel to spine. Inhaling for cow, tuck the toes under, really drive the sit bones up, open across the chest. Exhaling for cat, press into the tops of the feet in all 10 fingerprints. Inhaling for cow. Exhaling for cat. Taking one more round here, inhaling for cow, really opening across the chest. Exhaling for cat, rounding navel to spine, chin drops all the way to the chest. And then coming to a neutral spine, lengthening the right leg long behind you with the toes tucked under. Just rock back and forth a little bit here, opening up through the foot, starting to open up through the leg. And then stack the shoulders right over your wrists. Lift that right leg so that the thigh is parallel to the ground. Shifting the weight to the right so that you're still even in your midline. Reach that left arm long in front of you. Really draw the navel toward the spine. So think more of working toward that cat spine, less of dropping the abdomen down and arcing really strong through your center. And then lower the left hand and the right knee down to the mat. Sway the hips side to side, making big letter C shapes with your spine. And coming back to center, lengthening the left leg long behind you, toes tucked under, and just rock back and forth a little bit here. Make sure that you're not dropping the head or rounding through the shoulders. And then stack those shoulders right over your wrists. Lift the left leg, keep that left hip dialing down, shifting the weight to the left a little bit so that you're still nice and squared off here. Reach that right arm long in front of you. Think of pressing the ground away with the left hand. Draw the navel toward the spine. Mindful that you haven't lost connection with the breath. Staying present in that unknown, especially if things are a little wobbly. And lower the right hand and the left knee down to the mat, swaying the hips side to side, once again, making those letter C shapes with your spine. And coming back to center, lengthen the right leg long behind you, toes tucked under. Left foot meets it in plank pose, top of a push-up, just like we did one foot at a time. Rock forward and back a little bit here. Engage through those low abdominal muscles. And then with your next exhale, press back to your first downward dog, reaching the sit bones up and back. Start to pedal through the feet here, sending one heel closer to the ground and then the other. Maybe shake the head out a little bit. And then gradually begin to find stillness. You're going to hook the right toes onto the back of your left heel. Actively draw that left heel down as you keep hiking the sit bones up and back. Mindful that you still have weight evenly on both hands here. And then bring that right foot back down. Hook your left toes onto the back of your right heel. Actively draw that right heel down as you lift the sit bones up and back in opposition. And bring that left foot down to the mat. As you inhale, lift up high onto the balls of both feet. Keep gazing right between your big toes. Soften the knees. Try to press your chest toward the thighs just a little bit more. And then re-extend the legs. Drop those heels just as close to the mat as they'll come in this moment. Take a full breath here. Beginning to move with the breath as you inhale, come forward to plank pose, top of a push-up. Downward dog as you exhale, relax through the jaw and the toes. Inhale, forward to plank, stay broad across the collarbones, look past the top edge of your mat. Downward dog as you exhale, feel the backs of your thighs press toward the back of the mat. Inhaling forward to plank. Stay in plank pose as you exhale. Take one more breath in, and then lower the knees, the chest, and the chin. Baby cobra, scoop the heart forward and up, and then press yourself back to child's pose, hips to the heels. Let the big toes touch, knees are just as wide as they need to be here. If it feels nice to sway the hips a little bit, you can sway the hips. If you want to circle the forehead on the mat, go ahead and circle the forehead on the mat. Whatever feels good in your body right here, right now. Not anticipating what's to come, not worrying about what has already happened, just existing in that perfect present moment, filled with all the unknown. Reaching long through the arms, pressing into your palms, lift the hips, tuck the toes under, coming back to your downward dog. Take a slow, deep breath in, and let all the breath go. As you inhale, reach the right leg up, three-legged dog. Open the hip, bend the knee, try to kick your left seat with that right heel, circling the right ankle in one direction. And then reverse your ankle circles. Lengthen that right leg long, square the hips off, step the right foot between your thumbs. As you inhale, get a little bit longer through the spine. Exhale, the left foot meets the right at the top of the mat, folding forward over the legs. Inhale, sweep the arms out and up, high prayer. Exhale, prayer to the heart center. Inhale, reach your prayer straight up to the ceiling. Interlace the fingers, flip the palms up, reach up and over to the right side first. Try to drop the shoulders away from the ears. Come back up through center, reaching up and over to the left side. Feel that right shoulder spiral open just a little bit more. Come back up through center, really press the palms up, drop the shoulders down, bring the palms together, folding forward over the legs, let the weight rock forward in the feet. Inhaling to your flat back, extending nice and long through the spine. Step your left foot back to your low lunge. Lower that left knee down, untuck the toes, sweep the arms up to frame your face, Anjaneyasana. Interlace the hands right behind your head. You're gonna open the elbows nice and wide as you lift up out of the waist, fall back into the support of the hands. Stay relaxed through the throat and the jaw. And then reach the arms up, lower the hands down to the mat, tuck those left toes under, lift the left knee and thigh. Feet stay right where they are as you straighten your right leg, folding forward for 3 breaths. Feel that right hip crease plug back and in. The low abdominal muscles are spiraling over the top of that right thigh ever so slightly to keep the hips squared off. As you inhale, rebend your right knee over the right ankle. Step back to your downward dog, gazing between the big toes, spreading all 10 toes evenly. Inhaling forward to plank pose, shoulders right over the wrists, downward dog as you exhale. Inhale forward to plank, moving smoothly with the breath, downward dog as you exhale. Inhaling forward to plank, stay in plank pose as you exhale. Take one more breath in, and then lower the knees, the chest, and the chin. Baby cobra, press into the tops of the feet as you lift the heart and the gaze. Downward dog as you exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Take a slow, deep breath in, and let all the breath go. Inhaling the left leg up, 3-legged dog. Open the hip, bend the knee, start to circle that left ankle in one direction. Really firm up through the front of the right thigh so you're stable through your base. Reverse your ankle circles. Press into the left hand just a little bit more to keep those shoulders square. Lengthen the left leg long, square the hips off. Step the left foot between the thumbs. As you inhale, get a little bit longer through the spine. Exhale, the right foot meets the left at the top of the mat, releasing over the legs. Inhale, sweep the arms out and up, high prayer. Exhale, prayer to the heart center. Inhale, sweep the arms out and up. Interlace the fingers, flip the palms up, reach up and over to the left side first. Pressing into the outer edge of the right foot a little bit more. Come back up through center, reach up and over to the right side. As you press into that left foot, try to reach a little bit longer through that left side. Come back up through center, press the palms up, start to look up. Palms together, draw your prayer through the midline, folding forward over the legs. Inhaling to your flat back, right foot steps back to your low lunge. Lower that right knee down, untuck the toes, sweep the arms up, Anjaneyasana. Interlace the hands right behind the head, open the elbows nice and wide. As you inhale, lift up out of the waist a little bit more. As you exhale, fall back into the support of the hands, just like you were leaning back into a hammock. Reaching the arms back up, lower the hands down to the mat. Tuck the right toes under, lift that right knee and thigh. Feet stay where they are as you straighten your left leg, folding forward here. Relax through the jaw and the shoulders, pressing into the left big toe and pinky toe. Rebend the left knee over the left ankle. Step back to your downward dog, shifting a little more weight into the legs. Inhaling forward to plank pose. Downward dog as you exhale. Inhale forward to plank, just nice and easy with your breath. Downward dog as you exhale. Inhale forward to plank. Stay here as you exhale. One more breath in. And then lower the knees, the chest, and the chin. Baby cobra, scoop the heart forward and up as you point the toes back. Lower the forehead down to the mat. Slide the forearms forward, coming into Sphinx pose. So you want those shoulders directly over the elbows. Forearms are parallel to one another, lifting everything from the navel through the sternum away from the mat. Energetically draw the palms back and reach the heart forward. Really roll those shoulders open. And then look over your right shoulder. Feel that left shoulder continue to spiral open so you're not collapsing here. Gaze back to center, looking over your left shoulder. That right shoulder's rolling open. Keep engaging through the low abdominal muscles. And gaze back forward. One more breath here. Maybe you lift a little bit higher. And lower the forehead down. Bring the palms right under your shoulders. Tuck the toes under. Press up to plank pose. Downward dog as you exhale. Take a slow, deep breath in. And let all the breath go. Slowly begin to walk your feet up to the top edge of the mat. Absolutely no rush to arrive. When you're at the very top of the mat, soften the knees, let the weight spill forward. Shake the head yes. Shake the head no. Shake the head maybe. And then just let the crown of the head drop down toward the mat. Keep the knees bent and the head heavy. Slowly start to roll up one vertebra at a time. Your head is the very last thing to arrive. When you've arrived, no rush. You'll shrug the shoulders up and back a few times. And then just let yourself find stillness, standing tall in Tadasana, mountain pose. Bringing your chin to your chest. Circle the right ear to the right shoulder. Pause here, breathing into the left side of the neck and the top of the left shoulder. Bring your chin back to your chest, circling the left ear to the left shoulder. Try to keep both shoulders nice and relaxed. Bring your chin back to your chest. Bring the hands into prayer at the heart center. Just pausing for a moment here. Checking in with yourself. Giving yourself permission to stay in that unknown, that in-between state. As you inhale, reach your prayer straight up, look up. Exhale, draw your prayer through the midline, folding forward over the legs. Inhaling to your flat back, reach the tailbone back, lengthen the crown of the head forward. Right foot steps back to your low lunge. Take a deep breath in here. Downward dog as you exhale. Inhale forward to plank. Lower knees, chest, chin. Baby cobra, scoop the heart forward and up as you roll the shoulders open. Downward dog as you exhale. Inhale the left leg up, three-legged dog. Open the hip, bend the knee. Lengthen the leg long, square the hips. Knee to the nose, get the shoulders right over your wrists. Three-legged dog, reach that left leg long behind you. Left knee to the left upper arm bone, lightly step the foot outside of the hand so pinky finger and big toe are next to one another. Lower that right knee down, untuck the toes. And you can turn those left toes out and let the knee fall open if that feels good, or keep the toes pointing forward. You might want to stay on the hands if this is enough, or you can come back onto the forearms just like we did in Sphinx pose. Mindful that you're not collapsing to that right side. Really plug that left hip in and back, especially if the forearms are down. Give weight evenly to both forearms. Keep the gaze forward. Keep the heart center open. If you're on the forearms, come back up onto the hands. Turn those left toes forward if you turned them out. Tuck the right toes under, lift that right knee and thigh. Step the right foot outside of your right hand so you're folding over the legs in a wider stance here. And then bring the left hand to the right ankle or shin. Reach that right arm up toward the ceiling. Actively press into the outer edge of your left foot, lifting your left hip crease. Bring that right hand down, come through center. Right hand to the left ankle or shin. Reach that left arm up toward the ceiling. See if you can start looking past the left thumb. Lift the right hip crease so that the hips aren't swaying to the left. Lower that left hand down, come back through center. Heel toe the feet into your midline. Sweep the arms out and up, high prayer as you reach up, look up. Exhale, prayer to the heart center. Inhale, reach your prayer straight up, look up. Exhale, draw your prayer through the midline, folding forward over the legs. Inhaling to your flat back, reaching nice and long through the spine. Left foot steps back to your low lunge. Deep breath in here. Downward dog as you exhale. Inhale forward to plank. Lower the knees, the chest and the chin, elbows point straight back. Baby cobra, lift the heart, lift the gaze. Downward dog as you exhale, relaxing through the jaw. Take a slow, deep breath in. And let all the breath go. Reaching the right leg up, three-legged dog. Open the hip, bend the knee. Lengthen the leg long, square the hips. Knee to the nose, shoulders right over the wrists. Three-legged dog. Right knee to the right upper arm bone. Step the foot outside of the hand so you're in that wide lizard lunge. Lowering the left knee down, untuck the toes. And again, you can turn those right toes out and let the knee fall open if that feels good, or just keep the toes pointing forward. Check in with the body and breath. Maybe this is exactly where you need to be in this moment. Maybe you want to come on to the forearms, deepening the stretch a little bit. Make sure you've got the weight evenly on both hands or forearms. You're staying open across the chest. Little bit of a lift through that left hip crease and thigh so that you're not collapsing. That right hip crease is actively plugging in and back. You're on the forearms, come back up onto the hands. If you turn the right toes out, turn them forward. Tuck those left toes under, lift the left knee and thigh. Step that left foot outside of the left hand, folding over the legs in a wider stance. And then bring the right hand to the left ankle or shin. Reach that left arm up toward the ceiling. Shift just a little more weight into the right foot. Bring that left hand down, come through center. Left hand comes to the right ankle or shin, reaching that right arm up toward the ceiling. Again, shift a little more weight into the left foot here so that your hips stay square. Bring the right hand down, come through center. Heel toe the feet in toward your midline. Sweep the arms out and up, high prayer as you reach up, look up. Exhale, prayer to the heart center. Take a slow, deep breath in, nice and grounded, evenly on both feet. Let all the breath go, emptying out completely. Inhale, sweep the arms out and up. Exhale, draw your prayer through the midline, folding forward over the legs. Inhaling to your flat back. Right foot steps back to your low lunge. Take a deep breath in. Downward dog as you exhale. Inhale forward to plank. Slowly lower straight down to the mat. Shoulders and hips meet the ground at the same time. Baby cobra, lift the heart, lift the gaze. Lower the forehead back down to the mat. Tuck the toes under. Press up to plank. Downward dog as you exhale. Deep breath in. And let all the breath go. Inhaling the left leg up, three-legged dog. Open the hip, bend the knee. Lengthen the leg long, square the hips, knee to the nose. Three-legged dog. Left knee to the left upper arm bone, step that foot outside of the hand. Take a deep breath in as you exhale, step the right foot outside of the right hand. Feet are mat width apart, turn the toes out, and then sit into your squat, Malasana. You are welcome to sit on something if the heels are popping up or you're not able to find the shape. Really press the palms together, lift the heart up toward the thumbs. Take one more breath here. As you inhale, press into the feet, press into the palms. Rise all the way up to stand. Feel the strength of the legs. Heel toe the feet into your midline as you draw your prayer down to the heart center. Inhale, sweep the arms out and up. Exhale, draw your prayer through the midline, folding forward over the legs. Inhaling to your flat back. Left foot steps back to your low lunge. Deep breath in here. Downward dog as you exhale. Inhaling forward to plank, slowly lower straight down to the mat. Keep the elbows hugging in toward your midline. Baby cobra, lift the heart and the gaze. Lower the forehead down to the mat, tuck those toes under, press up to plank. Downward dog as you exhale. Deep, deep inhale. Let all the breath go as you exhale. Inhale the right leg up, three-legged dog. Open the hip, bend the knee. Lengthen the leg long, square the hips, knee to the nose. Three-legged dog. Right knee to the right upper arm bone. Step that foot outside of the hand. Deep breath in here. As you exhale, the left foot steps outside of the left hand. Turn the toes out a little bit, sitting into your squat, Malasana. As you press the palms together, gently press the elbows into those inner thighs. The tailbone drops straight down as the crown of the head lifts. Even out the inhales and the exhales. Pressing into the feet. Rise on up to stand. Heel toe the feet into your midline, bringing your hands back to prayer at the heart center. Deep breath in. And let all the breath go. Sitting into chair pose, Utkatasana. Let the weight rock back into the heels. Relax through the shoulders. Take one more breath here. Sitting in that uncertainty. Stay grounded on the right foot. Draw that left knee up toward your chest. Little Karate Kid. Step that left foot back to a high lunge. Right leg is staying strong and stable. As you inhale, straighten that right leg. Exhale, rebend the knee. As you inhale, just lift up out of the waist here. Open to warrior two. Spin the back heel down. Extend long through the arms. Come back to the breath. Flip your front palm, peaceful warrior. Reach all the way up and back. Reach, 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 reach. Cartwheel the hands down to the mat. Step to plank pose. Slowly lower straight down to the mat. One solid piece. Baby cobra, lift the heart, lift the gaze. Lower the forehead down to the mat. Tuck the toes under. Press up to plank. You decide. You can come straight back to downward dog, or you can take a vinyasa of your choice. So maybe chaturanga and up dog, maybe knees, chest, chin, and baby cobra. You decide what you need. Meeting back in downward dog, evening out those inhales and exhales. Reaching the right leg up, three-legged dog. Open the hip, bend the knee. Lengthen the leg long, square the hips. Step the right foot between the thumbs. Rise back up to your high lunge. Shoulders are right over those hips. As you inhale, straighten the right leg. Exhale, rebend the knee. Stay grounded in that right foot. Draw the left knee up toward your chest. Pull up through the standing leg. And then sit into chair pose. Both feet are on the ground once again. Weight is even in both feet here. Stay grounded in the left foot. Draw the right knee up toward your chest. Slowly step that right foot back to your high lunge. As you inhale, straighten the right leg, left leg. Exhale, rebend that knee. Take a deep breath in, lift up out of the waist, lift the chin and the gaze. Open to warrior two. Spin the right heel down. Feel the tailbone drop straight down as the crown of the head lifts. Pressing into all 10 toes evenly. Flip your front palm, peaceful warrior. Reach all the way up and back. Cartwheel the hands down to the mat. Step to plank pose. Slowly lower straight down to the mat. One solid piece. Baby cobra, lift the heart, lift the gaze. Lower the forehead down to the mat. Tuck those toes under. Press up to plank. And again, you decide, vinyasa or downward dog, whatever you need in this moment. Dropping back into the breath. Reach that left leg up, three-legged dog. Open the hip, bend the knee. Lengthen the leg long, square the hips, step the foot between the thumbs. Inner thighs hug in toward the midline as you rise up to your high lunge. Inhale, straighten the left leg. Exhale, rebend the knee. Draw that right knee up toward your chest. Really pull up through the standing leg. Sitting into chair pose, Utkatasana. Weight is even on both feet. Interlace the hands behind your head here. So just like we did at the very start, open the elbows. Lift the heart, lift the gaze. Fall back into the hands just ever so slightly. And then reach the arms back up. Draw that left knee up toward your chest. Step back to your high lunge. Interlace the hands behind the head. Once again, open those elbows nice and wide as you inhale, straighten the right leg. Exhale, rebend the knee. Deep breath in. See if you can fall back into the support of the hands a little bit here. Opening to warrior two, release the arms. Flip your front palm, peaceful warrior, reach all the way up and back. Keep reaching back as you straighten that right leg. Start to reach forward for triangle, Trikonasana. Right hand finds the right shin or ankle, left arm is reaching straight up toward the ceiling. Bring that left hand behind your head. Fall back into the hand. Feel the right side of your rib cage wrap up toward the ceiling a little bit more. And then reach that left arm back up toward the ceiling. Peaceful warrior, bend your right knee, reach all the way up and back, reach, reach, reach. Cartwheel the hands down to the mat, step to plank pose. You decide, vinyasa or downward dog, whatever you need in this moment. Might be stillness, might be movement. Meeting back in downward dog, deep breath in. Let all the breath go. Inhale the right leg up, three-legged dog. Open the hip, bend the knee. Lengthen the leg long, square the hips. Step the foot between the thumbs. Rise up to your high lunge. Inhale, straighten the right leg. Exhale, rebend the knee. Draw that left knee up toward your chest. And then interlace the hands, the front of the shin. Really pull up through your standing leg. You're gonna steer that left knee open for tree pose. So either help the foot to the inner thigh or lower it to the calf or the ankle. Once you've got the foot where you want it, bring the hands into prayer at the heart center. Lift the heart up toward the thumbs. Start to reach the arms up. Here as well, interlace the hands behind the head. Open those elbows, open across the chest. A little bit of a lift with the sternum, the chin, and the gaze. Reach the arms up. Steer that left knee forward. Sitting into chair pose, Utkatasana. Weight is even on both feet. Rise up to a high prayer, straight legs. Bringing the hands into prayer at the heart center. Pause here, deep, deep breath in. And let all the breath go. Sitting into chair pose, Utkatasana. Bring the hands behind the head. Interlace your hands the way that feels a little funky. As you open those elbows, really lift the heart. Let the head fall back into the hands, but keep engaging the low abdominal muscles so that you're not just arcing through the low back, nice and protected through the back. Reach the arms back up. Draw that right knee up toward your chest. Step back to your high lunge. Inhale to straighten the left leg. Exhale, rebend the knee. Bring the hands behind the head here. Open those elbows. Lift up out of the waist. Reach that right heel back just a little bit more so you're stronger through the base of the legs. Warrior two. Spin the right heel down, reaching long from under the arms. Flip your front palm, peaceful warrior. Reach all the way up and back. Straighten your left leg, reaching forward for triangle, Trikonasana. Catch yourself in that moment where you want to pitch forward of the left thigh. Keep the left side of the rib cage stacked over the thigh. Reach that right arm straight up toward the ceiling. And then bring the right hand behind your head. Fall back into the support of that hand. Really wrap the left hip under you even more. Reach the right arm back up toward the ceiling. Peaceful warrior. Bend your left knee as you reach up and back. Cartwheel the hands down to the mat. Step to plank pose. You decide, vinyasa or downward dog, whatever you need in this moment. Come back to the breath. Reaching the left leg up, three-legged dog. Open the hip, bend the knee. Lengthen the leg long, square the hips. Step the foot between the thumbs. Rise up to your high lunge. Inhale, straighten the left leg. Exhale, rebend the knee. Draw that right knee up toward your chest. Interlace the hands in front of the shin. Hug the knee in and up as you pull up through that standing leg. And then use the hands to steer that right knee open. Tree pose. So either help the right foot to the inner thigh or drop it to the calf or the ankle. Don't press into the knee joint. Ooh, I'm losing my balance. Press the palms together. Lift the heart. Reach the arms up. Interlace the hands behind your head. Open those elbows. Lift up out of the waist. Let the back of the head fall into the palms. Present in the unknown, in the wobbles, the bobbles. Reach the arms back up. Steer that right knee forward, sitting into chair pose, Utkatasana. Weight is even on both feet. Rise up to stand, high prayer. Exhale, prayer to the heart center. Take a slow, deep breath in. And let all the breath go. One last time, sitting into chair pose. Fold over the legs as you exhale. Circle the hands behind your back. Interlace the fingers. Reach your knuckles up toward the ceiling. Really let the crown of the head drop down toward the mat. You're going to bend that right knee. Keep the left leg as straight as you can. Spiral the chest and shoulders open to the left. Come back through center. Bend that left knee. Straighten the right leg as much as you can. Spiral the chest and shoulders open to the right. Come back through center. Soften both knees. Let the head drop heavy. Knuckles lightly reach to the ceiling. And then release the hands, fingertips toward the toes. Inhaling to your flat back, tailbone lengthens back, crown of the head reaches forward. Right foot steps back to your low lunge. Left foot meets it in plank pose right away. Pause here. Find your breath here. Stay present. Try not to venture off into what might come next or what already happened. Slowly, slowly lower all the way down to the mat. One solid piece meets the ground. When you've arrived, untuck those toes, reach the arms long by your sides. Walk the legs closer to one another and farther behind you. As you inhale, lift and lengthen everything away from the mat for Shalabhasana. Just those hip points are anchored down. Find the buoyancy here. And release down to the mat. Rest the right cheek down. Big toes touch, heels wing open. That feels good to sway the hips a little bit. Sway the hips. And bring your forehead back down to the mat. Walk those legs closer to one another and farther behind you. As you inhale, lift and lengthen away from the mat for one more Shalabhasana. You can interlace the hands behind your back if you want to this time, or you can keep the arms long by your sides. You decide what feels best in your body. One more breath in, see if you can lift just a little bit higher, and release down to the mat. Rest the opposite cheek down. Big toes touch, heels wing open. Again, if it feels good to sway the hips a little, sway the hips. Bring the forehead down to the mat. Bring the palms under your shoulders. Child's pose, hips to the heels. Big toes touch, knees are just as wide as they need to be here. See if you can even out the inhales and the exhales once again. Keep bringing the awareness to the breath. Slowly roll on up to sit. Let the hips fall to one side. Bring the legs out in front of you, scooting toward the top edge of the mat. And then have whatever you're using for a block or for a bolster alongside one hip so that it is easily accessible in a moment. Hold on to the backs of the thighs, lift the heart, lift the gaze, lift the shins, Navasana, boat pose. Let go. Maybe circle out the wrists and the ankles. If you were circling, reverse the circles. Pause, slightly lift the heart, lift the shins. Don't forget to exhale. Don't forget to smile. Plant the feet. Reach the fingertips long in front of you and then slowly start to lower one vertebra at a time. Once you're all the way down, you're going to walk the heels in toward you so that the heels are in the same line as the sit bones. You're going to press into those feet, lift your hips for bridge, and then take whatever block, whatever prop you're using, and bring it underneath your sacrum, the lowest, flattest part of your spine. When you've arrived, you want to scoop those shoulder blades underneath you. Allow the eyes to close. See if you can simply allow everything to settle. Allowing for there to be a little more clarity in this moment with this breath. Catching yourself in those moments where you're wanting to linger on something that's pleasurable or wanting to check out from something that isn't so pleasurable or that's challenging. Going to bring the knees in toward your chest and then reach the feet up toward the ceiling. You realize that the prop needs to be shifted, just bring those feet down, make an adjustment, and then re-extend the legs. And start to flex and point through the feet, articulating through all 10 toes and the ankles. And circling the ankles in one direction. Reverse your ankle circles. Flexing through the feet. Scrunch your toes up as if you were picking up a pen with your toes, and then spread all 10 toes nice and wide. One more time, scrunch those toes up and spread them wide. And then just relax through the feet and the ankles. Try to even out the breath once again. Try to allow yourself to stay in that middle spot, that unknown, not grasping, not running away, just fully present right here, right now. You have 3 more breaths here. If you realize that you checked out or you got really wrapped up in a narrative, just gently bring yourself back to the breath. It's perfectly natural if there's a little bit of tingling through the ankles or the toes. Bend the knees, bring the feet back down. Extend the legs long in front of you. Keep the heels grounded. Just release through the whole front body here. Slide the soles of your feet back onto the mat. Press into your feet to lift those hips and then slide whatever's underneath you out and off to the side, lowering one vertebra at a time. When your entire spine is back on the mat, hug those knees into your chest, letting the low back release. It might feel nice to rock a little bit or circle the knees in one direction. You're circling the knees, make sure you go in both directions. And hugging those knees back into the chest. Let the knees fall to the right side. Reach the left arm out to the side. Gazing either over those left fingertips, or if that's too much for the neck, just gaze up at the ceiling. Bringing the knees back up through center. Let the knees fall to the left. Try to keep the knees belly button height or higher. Reaching that right arm out from the right shoulder. Feel the right shoulder really scoop under you and down to the mat. And again, you're either looking over the right fingertips or up at the ceiling. Bring the right hand to meet you on your left side. And then just gently press yourself on up to sit. Bring the soles of your feet together. Let the knees fall open. Heels are pretty far in front of you, so you have a nice wide diamond shape. And then just let yourself round forward, bringing the forehead to the tops of the feet. Let the low back round and release. Let the hips just melt open here. Taking a moment as you are literally rounding inward and looking inward to check in. Just acknowledging where you're at in this moment. Whatever is okay. One more breath here in Tadasana. Slowly start to come back up to sit. Draw the knees together. And you're going to set up your props the same way you had them at the very start. And then come to lay back on the props, finding the exact same shape that you took at the very beginning. So maybe that was feet together, knees apart. Maybe that was legs straight in front of you. Maybe that was feet mat width apart, knees and inner thighs dropping together. Just allow yourself to return to that exact same place that you started. Let the eyes close. Let the entire back body be supported by what's beneath you. And just check in here. Are there any subtle or maybe not so subtle differences that you are able to notice from the start of your practice to now? Is there anything that's still lingering that maybe you're ready to let go of, but you weren't earlier? We are told about the pain of chasing after pleasure and the futility of running from pain. We hear also about the joy of awakening, of realizing our interconnectedness, of trusting the openness of our hearts and minds. But we aren't told all that much about the state of being in between, no longer able to get our old comfort from the outside, but not yet dwelling in a continual sense of equanimity and warmth. By not knowing, not hoping to know, and not acting like we know what's happening, we begin to access our inner strength. You are welcome to stay in the shape you are in for Shavasana. You are welcome to come into a more traditional Shavasana with nothing underneath you. As you begin to settle into what is your final resting pose, allow your mind and your body to find sweet stillness. Allow the efforts of your practice to soak in, keeping in mind that no effort, no matter how small or how large, is ever wasted. Allow your next breath to be a little bit deeper. Bring some gentle movements to the fingers and toes. It feels right to nod the head side to side, nod the head. Bring the soles of your feet onto the ground, right in the same line as the sit bones. Gently roll to your right side into fetal position. Pressing into your top hand, come up to a comfortable seat. Allow yourself to find stillness with the eyes closed when you've arrived. Joining the palms in prayer at the heart center. Lightly lifting the heart up toward the thumbs. Sealing practice with one Om. The best within me bows to the best within you. Namaste. Thank you.